Hello guys, this is Miss Kent. I'm back with another video, and today we're going to go into our A4 through A5, which is equations and inequality notebook, and we're going to go down and finish up our literal slides. So you want to go down to your literals. You should have slide 8 completed. If not, look inside of the key and you should be able to see the answers to problems 1 through 8. But today we're going to take a look at problems 9 through 18. And so you're going to work those problems along with me. So we're going to jump over to the Jamboard, which I will have this not only in a video, but I will also have the Jamboard available for you to flip through and go through the slides. So the first problem that we're going to work is problem number 9. So what you want to do, and it's probably best to do this on a sheet of paper, and you want to copy the problem down. So we're on number 9, area equals 1/2 base times height. So in order to solve a literal equation, you need to do the inverse operation. So the inverse of a fraction is its reciprocal. So we want to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. And also we want to remember that we are isolating the variable that we're solving for, which is h. So when we rewrite the problem, 2 divided by 1 is 2. So we have 2a equals the base times the height. Again, we're solving for the height. So we're just going to divide both sides by b. When we do that, the height is equal to 2 times the area divided by b. Okay, these are all unknown variables. And the reason that we know it's literal is because you have more than one unknown variable. Okay, so that is the answer to number 9. We're not actually going to be able to get a numerical answer because we don't know the values of H, A, or B. All right, we're moving on to number 10. So with number 10, we have a volume which equals 1/3 base times the height. Again, we need to get rid of the fraction, so we multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3/1. We're trying to isolate the variable for b, so we're moving everything over to the other side using the inverse operation. 3 divided by 1 is 3, so you have 3v equals BH. Okay, and now in order to isolate B, we divide both sides by H. So all I'm using is the inverse operation. The answer to number 10 is B equals 3V divided by H. Okay, and so you want to plug that in. If you're doing this on a sheet of paper, then you should be snipping your work and placing it or uploading it into your document. Okay, we're moving on to slide number 11, which is slide 3 on Jamboard. Number 11 is K equals mv squared divided by 2. And I'm solving for m. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of the division. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2. And the opposite of division is multiplication. So we have 2k equals mv squared. Now to isolate m, we divide both sides by v squared. We do not need to take the square root because we're not solving for v. So m equals 2k divided by v squared. Okay, and that is your answer for number 11. You can pause the video and go as slow or fast as you need to. If you have any questions, you know you can come to class and you're allowed to ask those questions as well. We're moving on to slide 4. and we're solving number 12. Okay, this problem states that A is equal to B plus C divided by D. Again, we need to get rid of what? Division. So we're going to use multiplication. There's no symbol placed between letters when multiplying. So you have AD, that is commutative property, which means the order doesn't matter. And then we're left with B plus C. If you go back over to 12, we're solving for B. So that means we need to use the inverse and subtract C from both sides. And then your solution to this problem would be B equals, now let's read it, AD minus C. You write it just like you see it. Again, AD minus C. Okay? Moving on to number 13. We have P equals 2L plus 2W. You should be familiar with this problem because this is a perimeter problem. We're trying to solve for W. In order to solve for W, which this one is a little tricky for students, what you want to look at is that how is 2L attached to 2W? So 2L is attached to 2W by addition. So you need to subtract 2L from both sides. When you subtract 2L from both sides, you're left with P minus 2L. Write it like you read it. Say it with me, guys. Write it like you read it, okay? So you have P minus 2L equals 2W. We want to divide by 2 because why? We're solving for W. And so W equals P minus 2L divided by 2. That is your final answer. Okay, guys, we're doing great. We're moving right along. And number 14 looks like number 13. So you should pause the video and do number 14 before you see the answer. That is a great way to study. You attempt the problem before you watch the solution. Okay, we don't want to just copy answers. We really want to learn how to master these skills so that we can pass our state tests. Okay, so again, let's change colors. It'll be a little bit more vibrant. All right, red, because the Falcons won today against the Broncos. Yay, we're so excited. And so we're going to look at 14 using our red pen. AX plus BY equals C. This time we're solving for Y. So we need to see how AX is attached to BY by addition, just like the previous problem. And so we're going to subtract AX from both sides. And when we do that, we're left with BY equals, let's read it like we see it, C minus AX, okay? And now we're going to isolate Y by dividing B. So your final solution is Y equals C minus AX divided by B, okay? And so we only have 4 more left. Let's see if we can knock these out. So we're on number 15. So looking at 15, we're solving for X. So we have Y equals MX plus B. And we're solving for what? X. So let's subtract the B, moving a little faster. And we're going to read it like we see it. Y minus B equals MX. Divide by M. And our solution is X equal Y minus B over M. Okay? And so therefore, this is your final answer. All right? Moving on to number 8. Remember, you can pause the video and you can take your time and rewatch it as many times as needed. We're on number 16. All right, we're going to rewrite the problem. I always rewrite my problem. And then you literally can just look at the problem and see what you're supposed to have on the other side. Remember, if you see addition, then on the other side, it needs to be subtracted. Multiplication, the opposite is division. Excuse me. And the opposite of square root is square. All right, so this time we're isolating t. So we got to get rid of the p, which is attached through addition. See, p plus. So that means subtract p. Okay, and so we subtract p, even though there's no symbol in front of the p, that means addition because it's positive. And so they cancel. Write it like you see it. Okay, I've said that multiple times. Write it like you see it. Now, when we're solving for t, remember I taught you when we introduced, we want to divide both sides by PR. Keep them together because multiplication and addition is commutative. They cancel because the p's cancel and the r cancel, and then you just rewrite the problem. A minus p divided by PR. Okay, guys, we're almost done. We only have 2 more to do. Why don't you pause the video and try the next 2 on your own? Okay, so number 17, we C equals, and here go another fraction. This one's a little different. This is a Celsius and Fahrenheit problem, which you do in science. So we still multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. So they cancel. So it's 9c divided by 5 equals f minus 32. We can drop the parentheses because we no longer have multiplication. And all we're going to do is add 32 to both sides. This one gets a little tricky, so that's why I'm starting this over. I'm going to use a different color. We're going to try blue. So we're going to add this 32 to both sides. Okay? And we're going to read it like we see it. So we got f, which is the variable that we're solving for, equals 9c divided by 5. We write all of that first, and then we add 32. You see what I did? I said 9c divided by 5 plus, because that's how you write it, plus 32. Read it like you see it, okay? Read it like you see it. All right, we got one more, guys. We're almost done, and it didn't take us that long. We're almost finished, okay? Last problem, number 18. You have area equals 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. Okay, a little tricky. Let's take it step by step. Let's get rid of the fraction. We're going to try this yellow because it was a beautiful day outside today. And we're going to get rid of 1/2. Okay, so we're left with 2a equals the height times b1 plus b2. All right, now we're going to divide by the height because we need to get rid of what's in front of the parentheses first. All right, and now we're left with 2a divided by h equals b1 plus b2. All right, now what are we solving for? b1. So we need to subtract b2, and that's an h. Okay. Now, our final answer, I'm going to write that in red. Why? Because the Falcons won today. Ray, you see my Falcon blanket? Wait a minute. Which way am I going? Yes, Falcon. I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan, so I'm excited about our win. All right, so what are we solving for? B1. And what's left? Read it like you see it. 2a over h. 2a over h minus B2. That's it, guys. We're done. We worked our problems for today. I want you to update your notebook. If you have any questions, you know you can always ask Ms. Kent. And for those of you who are watching on the internet, thank you for tuning in. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I will be coming with more Algebra 1 videos. So this is the Algebra Dominator, aka I'm Miss Kent, and thank you again for coming and watching my videos.